X-Men Apocalypse. Let's do this.
Everything they built will fall!
I'm here to talk about the apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse is the third movie in the current X-Men trilogy directed by Bryan Singer. This movie stars Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, and of course,
Oscar Isaac. So this is a review, so what did I like about the film?
first off, is this movie good? Yes, this movie is good. Is it great like I wanted it to be? No, and it's not as good as the previous two, but it does offer just enough to be a satisfying conclusion to this pretty good trilogy. The performances are all pretty solid. Michael Fassbender knocks it out of the park, and he has one scene in this movie, and I swear I was tearing up. Some of the best acting I've ever seen in an X-Men film. His chemistry with McAvoy carries the entire franchise, and once again they bring it to the table, just like they did in Days of Future Past and First Class. And you know what? I was a pretty big fan of the newer X-Men, Cyclops, Nightcrawler. I might even like this version of Cyclops better than the original trilogy.
Nothing against James Marsden, he's a good-looking guy.
But I feel like the writing for the younger versions of the characters are more on point than the original. I thought Jean Grey was okay, but the real performance that we need to talk about is Quicksilver. That dude is awesome. He once again has a majorly epic scene in this movie that, for me, stole the entire film. Now, sure, it feels a little bit out of place, but it is, to this day, one of the best action scenes in any comic book movie. When it was over, I was like, no, I want more. Give me more of that. Can I have more, please? Now, with the good comes some bad, and there were a couple of things in this movie where I was like, for me, this film kind of falls apart in the third act. There are some epic moments, and I'm not going to spoil them, but there are things in the third act that I just wanted to be better. The stakes are so high in the final battle, and to me, I didn't feel that. I felt the stakes in Civil War, and I even felt the stakes in Deadpool more than I did this movie. And there were a couple of characters that were just completely wasted. Psylocke, Angel, and Storm. All the Horsemen, just pointless. Storm did have one scene in the beginning of the movie for 5 minutes. Other than that. Once Magneto comes on the scene, he takes the show away from everybody else, and there's no character development. They are just pawns in the large game of chess. And this is not a spoiler, but the third act, Magneto does a lot of this. Just a lot of hovering. He just hovers. The whole time he hovers. And as good as he was, I felt like his last 35 minutes of the movie were just kind of wasted. Did not like the script writing as much in this movie, and honestly, I thought the plot was just kind of meh. Now, I can't see why so many critics are hating on this movie, but I can see why there's a little bit of backlash because it is kind of cliche. It's what we've grown accustomed to when it comes to comic book movies, and I feel like we should have gotten a little bit something more, especially from a villain like Apocalypse. He just doesn't do that much, and yes, he does seem menacing throughout the entire movie, but I think that's just Oscar Isaacs being a good actor. I felt like he wasn't written very well, and some of his scenes are just him using sand. He's supposed to be this all-powerful being, but he just kills people with sand. You know what? There is enough in this movie to say that I did enjoy it and have a good time. I'm going to give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. That's a pretty good score if you think about all the hate that this film's getting. I do recommend it. I don't know if you should trust me, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I will say that it is my third favorite comic book movie of this year. 1 being Civil War, 2 being the guy whose face is on my shirt. I did like it better than Batman v Superman, if that's saying anything. Probably not. So like I said in the beginning, I want to know what you guys thought of
X-Men Apocalypse.
Thank you, Flick fans, for listening to my big mouth, and I'll catch you later.